What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and I am going to help you replace, or teach you how to replace the ignition switch in your 99 to 2003 Acura TL. The reason why I'm making this video is because, well, online tutorials saved me a lot of money, and even though there isn't one yet that I've found that is really descriptive, I was able to do it all myself thanks to other people sharing the information, so I figured I would do the same. I'm somewhat mechanically inclined, but I'm no real mechanic. Anyway, I've already done it, and I've already tested it. It works great. If you're having the issue with your car just randomly stalling out while you're driving and just shuts off for no reason, pop it in neutral and put it back in drive, turn it back on, then this is probably the video for you. Anyway, this is the old part, right here. And the good news is, the only tools I used was, a little and big Phillips and this 10mm. This is only to remove the negative terminal of the battery. Like I said, I've already done it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just I'm just going to go over. Can't even talk right now, it's late. Please excuse me, I worked a long day today and it's what, 11 o'clock at night right now. Anyway, I'm just going to pull off the panels and I'm going to show you what I did, and this should be good enough for you if you're remotely mechanically inclined. This part right here, by the way, let's talk about this for a second. You can get them if you have a Costas Auto Parts or Shucks O'Reilly's in your area. You can. I think they're like 35 or 36 bucks. When I got off work today, they were closed and I needed this done tonight. So I went to AutoZone. They charge 55, 60 bucks after tax. And, well, it's got a lifetime warranty. And if you read all the, that's actually a good thing, because if you read all the forums, a lot of people are reporting going through 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So if it happens again, I actually asked the guy. He said I could just buy another one. They return the one I bought originally. So that's good to know. Anyway, let me get right to it. This is the old one, like I said. I'll refer to this because I'm not going to take out the new one and put it back in again. But I'll make sure to be very descriptive in exactly what you need to do for this. I used 2 Phillips screwdrivers. And that's all I needed. So anyway, here we go. There is my 99 Acura TL. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is pop the hood and remove the negative battery terminal. I'm not going to replace the part again or remove it and do it, so I'm not going to actually do that this time around. But definitely do that. So the first thing you want to do, right here, this is your fuse box cover. Just pull it off, just like that. Set this thing aside, and then the very first screw you need to remove is right here. See that? It's a Phillips. Make sure your door's open all the way, unless you have like a really small screwdriver. I don't, so let's see if I can do this without putting the phone down. Alright, there we go. Set that in there. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 screws we're going to be removing. They're all different sizes. I'm sorry, there's 3 different size screws. 3 of them are going to be from here. Remove the dash, but we'll get to that. So make sure you keep them separate, or at least you can remember which ones are which. So, you remove the dash panel, or, excuse me, the fuse panel cover, and you just want to pull kind of gently, like so. And if you look, this part will dangle down. Before you go any further, there's a little latch. Sorry, I'm using my camera phone here. Right there. Squeeze that. This is for your dimmer, your dash panel dimmer, light dimmer, whatever. Once that's removed, you can just pop this whole thing out. There is, see that little clip right there? This is actually the wire. This is actually part of the piece that we're going to replace, the ignition switch. This, let's see, this right here clips down right. Shoot, where is it? Can't find the hole. That's embarrassing. Alright, anyway, it clips in there somewhere. I wasn't able to get back together, but it's not a big deal, so whatever. Anyway, once you do that, you need to take your Phillips screwdriver. I believe the big one is the one I'm going to use this time. Anyway, I'm going to have to set the camera down for a second, so bear with me. But there's 1, 2, 3 screws. You need to remove those next. So I'm going to set the phone down. This is my camera phone. I don't know if it's actually angled up right, but bear with me. I got one almost. Come on, you little bugger. There we go. One down. Oops, come on, get in there. Two down. Almost got you. 3 down. Okay. So, once again, 1, 2, 3. By the way, if you didn't, it will probably be easier for you to flip your steering wheel all the way to the up position when you do that. Now that we did that, flip the lever, drop it down, and you see, just pop off the top. That easy. Now that that's been done, you want to just work, the bottom part off. I imagine it's a little bit looser this time around because I already opened it once. You might have to fight with it a little bit. Be patient, don't go crazy, because you don't want to mess anything up. Okay, so the next part, which again, this is the part where I said I'm not actually going to do it again, but I want to show you exactly what you need to do. It's very simple. Actually, hang on one second. I actually refer to this piece. This might be a little better. Okay, so I'm going to refer to this one as well. So, again, here is your steering column. Looking a little naked right now. This is the old one, and if you look, this right here is the wiring for your ignition switch. So, kind of have to crawl up underneath here. Again, just want to show you one more time. This is from the left panel. You crawl underneath here, so you're going to lay on your back underneath it. And if you look, there's this fuse board right here. And that brown one right there, sorry, I'm in the way there. That right there is what you need to pull out. See a little tab right that I'm pointing at right now? That my finger's blocking. You need to squeeze it and pull it out. Once you do that, you just kind of drop it. There is a little clip right here. You need to undo it from this. Like, just open it up, drop it, and there it is. Okay? So this is all part of your ignition switch. Once you get that dropped, you're nearly on the home stretch. Excuse me. Here's the part that kind of sucks. I did a lot of reading up on this, a lot of research, and I never found it, but there are 3 screws you need to remove, or so they say. I actually only removed 2. And yes, I did crack that. I'll get to that in just a second though. So the next thing you need to do is take your smaller Phillips and remove that screw, and then that screw. Once you do that, this whole thing will dangle loose. The tutorial I read said that there's a phantom screw, a third one that they couldn't get to. I never found it, and quite frankly, it isn't that big of a deal. So what I did is, like the other guy said, I just broke off this piece right here. I pulled it and it just snapped right here. Sounds awful, sounds bad, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal. The guy said he puts it like this and puts some tape to it. So if you really feel bad about it, take some duct tape, electric tape, and you know what? It's just a plastic cover. It's open at the bottom, so it's not like dust proof or anything. Anyway, so you move this screw. You move this screw. I kind of pulled here, and it just popped right out. And I just kind of pulled in different directions until it broke off. I know it sounds ghetto, but whatever. Sue me. When you pull it off, you'll see this. Let me back up here a little bit. This is the old one again. And it sits in like so. So it'll be looking kind of like this. Right over there. Even though there's a couple screw holes here, you see, or screw looking holes, there are actually no screws underneath there, which was a little weird to me. So you literally just pull this out. Once you do that, as you can see, this is right here. This is the new one. It runs in over this, so you just pull it out toward you, and then you run it in. Because of the size of it, it's actually easier. When you put the new one in, take this piece of it, the part that clips in to the back of that fuse panel, and you just run it underneath this. Once you run it all the way through, you seat this piece. Let me back up a little bit. In there. Push in there firm. You don't have to. It goes in nice and easy. You don't have to like put any force in it, but make sure it's snug. That's very important. Once you do that, take what's left of your plastic cover and push it on there. Make sure it's seated very tight. Put your two screws back on. 1, 2. Then you want to run. Again, it's this piece right here. Here's the bottom view of that. The cable runs behind that. You want to run it down like so. Reconnect it in here so it's tucked. Run it up here. Let's see, am I gonna back into there? Now, this is a key part. When I pushed it back in, I didn't actually hear a click, and it took me a few tries to clip in there. The reason why is usually when you let's see if my finger up in there right. Okay. Usually, if you see, there's more room on my fingers right now because all the wires on the other side, so I couldn't put even pressure on it. So it was a little tricky. I actually had to lay on my floorboard in some really awkward position and push it in. It took me a couple tries, so take your time again. Make sure you're not going to rush this, but if it's not connected, obviously it's not going to work. So you want to push it in, make sure it's in there firmly, and gently pulling it, make sure it is actually seated in there. Do look for that bottom clip being done, but even so, the first time I put it in there, it did just slide right out, probably because the top one wasn't fully secure. So again, just make sure it's in there all the way, because come on, phone, focus. There we go. Make sure it's in there all the way, so it works. Anyway, I'm not gonna videotape myself and putting this back together because that's just gonna be a pain in the butt. I can't really do it one-handed. Once you have that in there, the first thing you want to do is test it, or reconnect your negative battery and test it. You don't want to put the whole thing back together and then find out, oops, you didn't do it right. So, like I said, I literally 20 minutes ago, I just got done, and fires right up. Alright, there is one little bit of bad news. This is kind of annoying. I just found this out the hard way, so I guess I'm going to have to call Acura tomorrow. But because he disconnected the radio, that happens. Code. The reason why that happens is because if someone were to steal this, because I guess everybody and their mom is really into stealing factory Acura radios, whatever, they make it so you have to, if you ever disconnect power, you have to put a code in there so that way no one can steal it and actually get anything out of it. Pain in the ass. So, but I have a working Acura, and yeah. Anyway, YouTube, I hope this was helpful to you, and hopefully I saved you some money from as opposed to paying for a mechanic to do it. Later.